Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we'll be talking about the Pituffik Space Base, the United States military installation in Greenland. Please remember to like and subscribe. Alright, Fact 1. Thule Air Base. If the Thule Air Base sounds familiar to you, then you actually already know about the Pituffik Space Base. The Pituffik Space Base is actually just renamed from Thule Air Base, which was known throughout the world for many years until 2020 and 2019 when the Air Force spun off the Space Force. And with the separation, any former air bases that are mostly used for tracking satellites or detect incoming ballistic missiles have converted to a space base name. However, generally they just drop the air base and change it to space base. The Thule Air Base is the only one that completely underwent a name of change because they want to reflect more indigenous roots to this station. Alright, Fact 2. Supply once a year by ship. Because of the remote location of the Pituffik Space Base and the fact that the seas surrounding it are frozen most of the year, it is hard to supply this area. While there are large and long runways to accommodate aircrafts, sometimes they may not be able to fly in due to weather. As you can imagine, this area's weather is very terrible, and so a lot of times if there is a whiteout condition, the airplane simply cannot see how to land the aircraft, and they cannot supply the space base. So once a year, there is a operation that supplies this area with ship-based cargo. And if you think about it, because airplanes cannot carry as much cargo as a ship can, it will be challenging to move tons and tons of cargo by air. And so as a result, once a year, cargo ships arrive with containers to fully resupply the space base. In this situation, they could fully load as much supplies as they can on a ship and then take advantage of the summer weather in order to resupply the base, serving only the most small and critical items by air. Alright, let's get into the next fact. Fact 3. Commercial flights. Despite the remote location of this space base, there's actually commercial flights that fly into it on a daily basis. There are actually two types of aircrafts that are commercial origin. Of course, military planes are flying here all the time, but in terms of commercial, Air Greenland flies here, as well as a defense subcontractor that flies either from Virginia or New Jersey to this location to ferry supplies or change of personnel and so forth. There are also scientists that leverage the United States military installation to conduct research here as well. They pretty much piggyback off the infrastructure that's been built at this space base and then conduct their Arctic researches. However, despite the commercial nature of these flights, this is most definitely still a highly secured military base from the United States. So you probably cannot just buy a ticket and go there to check it out. You probably need a lot of clearance and paperwork ahead of hand just to understand where you can go and when you can go. And because the only airport is managed by the military, if you go without authorization, they probably would not let you land, or you'll be in deep trouble once you do. Alright, Fact 4. 150 people stationed. Despite this being a very strategic and important space base, and also formerly Thule Air Base, which has been around since World War II, there's only about 150 military personnel that's stationed here. I think that's pretty wild because this space base contains a lot of satellite tracking and sensitive space telecommunications equipment, and also radar detection against incoming ballistic missiles. But they only have 100 people, 150 to be exact, to secure and guard this area. I think part of the reasons why there's not thousands of soldiers here is simply because it's so difficult to get to. And not only that, where will you go after you get to this area? The only airport is controlled by the US military. There's nothing around it. And so if you were an enemy trying to attack this base, you probably need to land somewhere far away deep in Greenland. And then through the undeveloped rough tundra terrain, it'll probably be very difficult and challenging to actually attack this base. So this remote location actually helps as a sort of layer of defense, if you will, and therefore only needs about 150 people. Alright, let's get into the next and final fact: multi-installations. When you think about it, you would think that the space base contains all sorts of radars and antennas such as what you see here, but actually this is more like a regional hub, if you will. There's a whole bunch of smaller remote sites of these gigantic space telescopes and radar installations, and they're scattered all around the area. The Pituffik Space Base is just a regional hub to consolidate the management of all these remote installations. Other nearby installations include the Cape Athol Lorentz Station, the Cape Sentry Ice Cap Camp, Cape Tutu, and Sites 1 and 2 Ice Cap Radar Stations, P Mountain, J Sites, North and South Mountain Stations. And so as you can see, there are actually many remote locations within the Pituffik Space Base control. Once you land at the space base, you still need to venture out into the wilderness into accessing those remote locations. And so, as I mentioned in the previous sections, 150 people was already enough to defend it because it's so remote. Alright, that's it for my video today. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. See you next time.